And here we are. Welcome back to another episode of DriedMoss Walking Death Stranding. Regardless of what episode we are in now, I am on what Sam has called a final delivery. BB has, as you can see here, if I can pull the camera around, is apparently deceased. And I am apparently on a delivery to the incinerator, which should be close by. Now, this BB's theme, as I've said multiple times, I don't want to get copyright claimed, so I'll kind of talk over the song so that hopefully the YouTube algorithms don't put a copyright claim on the video. I don't monetize my videos, and I've said that multiple times as well. So as I talk, I'm going to try to go through things that are in my mind, and I might stumble in some areas as I usually do. I might repeat some things that other people have heard me say in previous episodes. So I don't agree with some of the dismissive reviews that this game has gotten, but I do have to accept that, as dismissive as they have been, they have fair amounts of factual points that gamers these days, I think, have become accustomed to. The incinerator is just over there, and I think that is fast rewards for little effort. Mobile games, you're talking about like the kind of Fortnites, the multiplayer games, the be better than the next person kind of games. And oh, the camera's really pulling back here. But this game has a very strict attention to a lot of effort for the rewards that you get. I am playing the game to reach a specific point of understanding for parts of the game that I enjoy. If my focus is the delivery portion of the game, then my focus will be making each delivery as effective, as short, as long, as difficult, as easy, as varied as I myself choose to make it. If my desire is to get deep into the story of Death Stranding, then I will be going from point A to point Echo with Bravo Charlie Delta just being sort of the middle parts that are sort of a means to an end. I don't know if I can cross over this. It looks like I can. Let's try and get across. But I have to accept that there are so many different ways to play Death Stranding that someone is going to find something that they dislike. They're going to find something that they like. But they're going to find it in a way that you don't normally find it in games, and that's what I know for me makes this game extremely special. Now let's talk about the story versus the gameplay. So for me, this gameplay of Death Stranding is very tightly intertwined to this story. The deliveries of connecting people, the characters that I met along the way, connecting to them, the players in the game, meeting them. Again, I didn't meet any players that I could recognize. I did recognize repeat structures that have been built as I put likes in, so that connection part is very apparent in Death Stranding, and it is never absent. It is always there, reminding you that it's present. So the connections that people have is definitely a high point and something that is brought to the forefront on multiple occasions, and that was something that reminded me how much that Hideo Kojima was allowed free reign. I don't know how many times a new type of game is allowed to do what Death Stranding, and that was sort of a flexibility of imagination and design. So what I have experienced in Death Stranding is, for me, the pinnacle of seeing what a designer can do to entertain me. And some of the dismissive things that have happened for this game, I think, are for those that are wanting quick reward for very little effort. And you have to put in the time to find out the deeper meanings of what this game has to offer. Now, I probably rambled there a little bit, or a lot. It was really me just trying to randomly throw out some ideas as I talk over the copyrighted music. But I'm hoping that for me, because I enjoy jumping back into a game and exploring it, especially as, you know, this is the first game in the franchise. If there's more, I welcome it. But if this is the only one, I'm very connected to the characters, and that is a testament to Hideo Kojima and the team at Kojima Productions. I'm going to remember these characters for a very long time, so I hope that we can revisit them. If that happens to be DLC, paid or otherwise, I'm on board. And I think that the amount of time that I spent after everything that I've played that is now behind me, I hope I'm given the opportunity to do so, to kind of finish some of the things that maybe I didn't complete. So we'll see after this this little segment right here of possibly incinerating Lou, or the bridge baby that Sam has named Lou. And we'll see if Sam goes incognito or the camera's taken over at this point. So as many points that this story has come to that feels like an ending, right, there's always a little bit more.
We're here. You still with me, Lou?
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least.
Thanks for everything.
That child is special. One of a kind.
A baby candidate.
Either that or
A sacrifice.
a foundation. A bridge.
Brought you an astronaut. Mankind can go anywhere, even outer space. You'll be out of there in no time. And the second all this is over, I'm going to take you wherever you want to go. Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you?
Captain, what are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
The void out in Manhattan. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were the husband.
This isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to save BB.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
This woman in the mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
I have a duty to protect our country. Lies are an unfortunate necessity.
The President gave me the highest level access privileges. I've used them to manipulate the security system. We have 5 minutes before it resets, sir. 5 minutes to talk. Off the record. Take BB and get out of this place. There's nothing I can do for your wife. I'm sorry. You were my commanding officer, but I swore an oath to the President to protect her and the country at all costs. Now, if she orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this.
Why are you helping me? If they catch you.
Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again. When the brass sent us into the jaws of hell, it was you that brought us home. Back then, I thought I was invincible. I thought I was some kind of action hero. But I'm not the hero. You are, sir. You're the reason I'm still alive. And it's past time I paid that debt. They're moving your son to a new facility tomorrow. You'll never see him again. He'll serve as the foundation of a new communications network. A sacrifice for a nation that no longer exists. I wrote down everything you need to know. It was the only way to keep it off the system.
He's got a fanny pack.
Burn it when you're done.
He's making it look cool, though.
The rest is up to you, sir. I believe this belongs to you, sir. Now, I can't terminate your wife's life support from inside her room. System won't allow it. So, this is the only other option. An alarm is set to go off if she flatlines. I've rigged the system to spoof her vitals. But you won't have long. 5 minutes, tops. Don't hesitate, sir. This is the only chance you'll get.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of him. I promise you. Promise you. My hand, Lisa. Bibi. Bibi. Bibi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Daddy.
Well, it's a lot of what I had already seen, but some of it that I hadn't. Like, I feel like there's other options, you know? Might be for another playthrough.
I just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order.
I guess there was a way to maybe get it out of there. Is that something I could have tried? I guess he's gonna try it.
A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it.
Death of who? Her? Is this her soul? So is her soul inside of BB?
Freeze! Hey, put it down! Drop it! Put it down!
Back off. Back off!
Get up! Don't do it!
I'll handle this. I'm sorry, Captain.
Don't! You got it! You two! Stay there! And hold your fire!
Thanks for trying, John.
Stop! Step aside, sir, or we'll be forced to open fire.
It's a dead end. He's trapped. Security will take it from here.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I screwed it up. I've ruined everything.
This room is off limits. No one goes in. When he's in there, sir, I saw him. You saw him all. Now check the other way. Go! Yes, sir.
No. Open it up. He's inside.
Move, dumbass.
Bibi. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out, there's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you. So let love warm you till I'm When I found out I was gonna be a father, I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you, your mom, no matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. I couldn't.
Get off of him! Now!
I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. I'm sorry. Sorry it took me so long.
Captain, look at you.
Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Oh my God.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
You told me your name was Sam Porter. But you're Sam Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future. Without you, I was just like any other Cliff.
It's me.
Oh, God. Not BB2.
No, 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 no!
me who cut the cord. So yes.
A deathless repatriate in the world of the living. Should we decommission it?
In a manner of speaking. Take him out of the pod. I'll raise him as my own.
So I said this in previous episodes that I thought that BB was Sam and that the veteran was Sam's father, and I guess I nailed it. So this BB is another Sam?
Come on, Lou. Wake up. Come on, Lou, wake up. Come on, Lou. Come on, Lou, wake up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up! Come on, Lou, wake up.
Sorry, that's... I might be getting a little teary-eyed there. Thought the timefall was harmful. So I guess this is the actual ending. I don't really feel like I'm gonna be able to jump back into the game and continue everything from this point, because now that Sam is kind of disconnected from the United Cities of America and the overall chiral network, that means that he won't be doing any more deliveries, and I guess that means I'm not going to be able to go back over and try to take care of some of the things that I missed in other like orders. So Yeah, and again, just to kind of talk over the credit screen here. Again, the whole, I've said it multiple times before, the copyright claims on specific types of music, and this is one of them, so I have to kind of make sure that the music isn't played without a little bit of a break in between by having a voiceover. I've still had some of the music still cause a copyright claim to happen, so I guess that's maybe based on the volume of my voiceover to the volume of the music. But I think from this point on, right here, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I will edit out the music, or I'll just put, I'm gonna let the credits kind of roll, and if I find something that I can put up on this episode, that'll happen. But from this point on, I'm gonna go ahead and mute out the audio or just chop it until something else happens. Okay, so I just had to jump into here and kind of make a comment on, I know I'm going to be talking over the music again, but Churches. Churches is one of my favorite bands. I have enjoyed their music ever since one of the video game award show, I think that Jeff Keighley was running, and it may have been Jeff Keighley, I think he was hosting it, but it was a video game award show, and they played one of the stage performances, and it was outstanding, and that's what got me hooked on Churches. And I've always sort of been a fan of theirs, so when I heard that they were going to be making music for this game, I was ecstatic. Even Low Roar, listening to some of their music and getting hooked on some of this stuff before Death Stranding actually came out, that was sort of a great lead up to, and I was listening to all the music by Low Roar, and I was listening to Ludwig's original soundtrack, and I was hoping that I could get a hold of the Death Stranding original soundtrack, you know, the official one, before the game came out, so that I could listen to all the music, and then when the music popped up, I'd be able to kind of relate to it and have like one of those nostalgic moments, like when Metal Gear Solid 4 had that instance where you went back to New Haven and you kind of jumped into that that archipelago opening scene, and the music played that kind of harkened back to that original Metal Gear Solid, years later. So hearing this music throughout the game, I've kind of had to talk over it, but I've always known that it was there, and I'm looking forward to kind of playing the game again, as I've said in multiple episodes, to kind of experience the music the way it was intended when it was played, and not kind of be talking as I'm listening to the music. And I think that's a testament to good design and good choices overall for a designer like Hideo Kojima. So I think when I'm trying to think of the song that I heard from Churches, I think Leave a Trace is one of my favorites, so that might be the song that got me hooked on Churches. Every Open Eye was a album that I downloaded first, and I think I downloaded it immediately whenever I heard the song for the first time. I've also got another one of their songs. I think it's it's got like a red cover with some kind of, I'm trying to think of it, but it was the Bones of What You Remember, Bones of What You Bones of What You Believe. Bones of What You Believe, and the Mother That We Share is one of my favorites. Night Sky. I can't remember them all because I'm a horrible fan, obviously, but so I just wanted to jump in and kind of just say out loud that I'm a huge fan of churches.
You can take
And I wanted to jump in here as well, and this list that just came up, I'm wondering if those are actually people that I connected with, and they just kind of plugged that in. That's pretty legit. Alright, jumping right back in here as we come to the end of the credits, and as it should be, produced and created by Hideo Kojima. His name is all over this game, as it should be. Right back where he should be making games. So we'll see if anything jumps in here. And of course it does. That almost looks like a real hand.
Louise.
I guess now that's the end of it. So French actors, Spanish voice actors, Portuguese voice actors. What other languages we got here? Okay, so I'm getting an overall ranking. Let's see, so tumbles taken 6, total water ingested, blood transfused, rest time, total play time 54 hours, 8 minutes, 22 seconds. A lot of cool data there. And I guess that means that I can't add to that more, or this is the final statistics for my playthrough, so definitely have to give it another playthrough if I can't continue. I'll probably give it another playthrough anyway. Even more data. Great transporter. Alright, so there's my stats. I soothed BB only 16 times. BB connection level. I can get up to 5 stars. Yeah, that's just a total like draw to play the game again. Like if they're giving me all this stuff, that means they're gonna have to let me back into it. Bunch of music. I wish they'd give me a I've got all the journals still to read. They've got to let me back into it. Memories of Cliff. Change color scheme. Okay. I want an MP3 player, so it looks like they're going to let me back into the game and continue playing, like a quick flashback, or I'm curious how they'll do it, because they're giving me stuff that I can use to go back into my private room, safe room, rest area, shelter. Ah, very interesting.
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
Well, look who's awake. Morning, Sam. You'll be happy to hear your vitals have stabilized, and that you're well on your way to recovery. Not that it's your fault, but what I wouldn't give to trade places. We're all stuck in the president's office, working like dogs to get everything ready in time for the inauguration. But at least one of us is still free as a bird. You should head out. Make the most of it. Could even do some orders if you wanted. Might do you good to get back in the game. You may recall it was raining buckets back when you left for Amelie's Beach. We took a real beating at the time, but we've done our best to service the structures and vehicles in the area. So you know, any cargo that was stored in your private locker at a damaged facility should have been transferred to your private locker here at this distro center. Anyway, busy or not, we'll still be on the end of the line if you need us. And if you want some alone time, we should be able to manage for now. Just make sure you're back in time for the big day, all right? See you then. Hey, Sam, you sure you don't have any unfinished business?
All right. This is the final episode of The Critical Path. So I want to say thank you so much for watching all the videos and connecting with me through these videos. Please, as I've said in the other videos, if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. Just leave those down in the comments section below. But this is the final episode of The Critical Path. Absolutely going to make more episodes of just me hanging out, not too connected to the story. There might be some other little trinkets that I'll find along the way, and if I do, I'll definitely make note of those in the description of the episode for, I guess we'll call it epilogue episodes for Death Stranding. And as always, thank you for walking with me, and I will catch you on the next episode.
Today's time is 57 degrees.